All right, before we dive into one of the most disturbing true crime cases in recent history, let's meet the key players, because trust me, knowing them first will make what happens next even harder to believe. First, we have Shanann Watts, a 34-year-old mother, businesswoman, and social media enthusiast. She loved her family, and if you scrolled through her Facebook, you'd think she had the perfect life. Next, we have her daughters, Bella and Celeste, two adorable little girls who absolutely adored their dad. And finally, the man at the center of it all, Chris Watts, the loving husband with a dark secret. Now that you know the cast, let's get into a case that shocked the entire world. To the outside world, the Watts family looked perfect. Beautiful home in Colorado, 2 kids and a baby on the way. Shanann's social media was filled with happy family moments. But things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Because behind the scenes, Chris was done with the family life. And when Chris Watts wanted out, he didn't ask for a divorce. He did something far worse. August 13th, 2018. Shanann arrives home from a business trip at 1:48 a.m. That would be the last time she was seen alive. Sometime after Shanann got home, Chris attacked her in their bedroom. He strangled her to death while she was 4 months pregnant with their baby boy Nico. And as if that wasn't horrific enough, his daughters walked in and saw their mother's body. Instead of stopping there, Chris loaded Shanann's body into his truck. Then he put his daughters in the back seat with their mother's dead body and drove to an oil field where he worked. Let that sink in. And what he did next, it's pure evil. Chris smothered 3-year-old Celeste with her own blanket and dumped her body in an oil tank. Bella, who watched her sister die, begged her dad, "Please don't do to me what you did to Cece." But he did. He killed her too. Then he stuffed Bella's body into another oil tank and buried Shanann in a shallow grave nearby. But here's where Chris messed up. See, he thought he could get away with it by acting like the worried husband. But, he sucked at it. Here's Chris pretending to be the devastated husband, asking for his missing family to come home. But dude, the whole time, he already knew they were dead. Detectives weren't buying it. They gave Chris a polygraph test. And guess what? He failed miserably. I mean, he probably could have lied better if he had literally done nothing at all. Backed into a corner, Chris did what every guilty person does. He changed his story. First, he blamed Shanann, saying she killed the kids and he just lost it. But the evidence said otherwise. Eventually, Chris confessed to killing his entire family because he wanted to start a new life with his mistress, Nicole Kessinger. That's right. He murdered his pregnant wife and 2 kids for another woman. And if that's not some cold-blooded, heartless garbage, I don't know what is. Chris was arrested, charged with 5 counts of murder, and sentenced to life in prison without parole, which honestly is too good for him. The Watts family murders weren't just another true crime case. They were a horrifying reminder that sometimes the biggest monsters are the ones you least expect. A man who seemed like a loving husband and father turned into a cold-blooded killer in a single night. But while Chris spends the rest of his life rotting in a cell, the real tragedy is the loss of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and baby Nico. They deserved so much better. All right, that's today's story. If you made it through without throwing your phone, congrats. But seriously, what do you think? Should Chris have gotten the death penalty? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insane true crime stories. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.